Good morning, dear. So let's go on with the continuing of the chapter 1 of your science, that is environment. Lastly, we learned a lot of new things in the chapter, that was the biotic and abiotic components and the process of photosynthesis. Now we're going to continue with the same chapter but learning ahead. So let's begin a journey through the chapter environment. So let's see what is the topic, date and objective of today's session. So date is 6 June today and the topic is environment, and the objective is to understand the concepts and to revise and review. To revise means we'll be revising the last topics and reviewing today's topics with the help of a worksheet or a activity. So over here you can see that there is a picture picture showing the process of photosynthesis that we did lastly. So over here plants, we know that plants are the autotrophs. They have the self mode of nutrition. So how do they make their own food and how do they prepare oxygen? This all is done in the process of photosynthesis. So now we know that this all is done in the process of photosynthesis, but there is a question that how the process of photosynthesis occur. So let's see, have a look at this. Okay, over here if you see, this is the air I have made. So if the sunlight, so there are arrows for sunlight and there are arrows from the air. Suppose this air is the carbon dioxide. So the plants take sunlight, take carbon dioxide, and in the presence of chlorophyll in the leaves, they take water and minerals from the soil through fruits. And after taking all of this, they undergo a process in the leaves and produce oxygen and food. Food is in form of carbohydrates or starch. So we are done with this. We are done with the revise revise chapter that we did lastly. Now let's go on with today's topic. So today's topic is topic number 2, that is animals or the consumers. We know that plants make their own food with the help of photosynthesis. But in the biotic component, there are plants, animals, and microorganisms as well. So, animals cannot make their own food. They do not have the ability or the property to make their own food. They are the consumers. They cannot prepare their own food. They have to depend on plants for their food. So, when they have to be dependent on plants for their food, they are called the consumers or the heterotrophs. The word hetero means other, and the word troph means food. The word hetero means other and the word troph means food. So means they depend on someone else for the food, and that someone else can be only and only plants. There is no one else in this world, in this environment, in this component who can create their own food and who are the creators. The animals are the consumers and the plants are the creators. Animals are dependent on plants for their food. Okay, so over here if you look, cow feeds on grass. Cow is an animal and grass is a type of plant. So cow feeds on grass. It means that the cow is feeding on plants, means the cow is directly dependent on autotrophs, on the plants for her nutrition, for its nutrition. Nutrition means for its fulfillment of food. Over here is a boy eating plant products. What are the plant products? the plant products are the fruits, the vegetables, all the eatables that we get from plants are the plant products. So these are also product of plant. These are getting from plant. So whatever we eat, the vegetables, the fruits, everything is gotten from plants. Means plants are the producers and the humans or the animals are the consumers. Okay. All animals feed on green plants. All animals feed on green plants. Now you will have a question that the lion does not feed on green plants. Yes, the lion does not eat green plants. Next line is either directly or indirectly. Directly the plants, there are some plants those directly depend on green plants like the cow, like goat, who directly eat green plants. Indirectly the animals like cattle go directly eat plants like grass and fodder. They are called primary consumers or the herbivores. Animals like tiger and lion feed on these herbivores. In other words, they hunt and eat cattle and goat. It means the lion eats goat, cattle and cows, etc. Such consumers which feed on plants indirectly are called secondary consumers or the carnivores. There are some animals which feed on both producers as well as the primary consumers. They are the omnivores. Animals like bears, pigs, etc. are omnivores. Even humans and dogs are omnivores. We human beings are also omnivores. This is a paragraph from your book. Let's have a look at this picture. The herbivore is a deer which directly eats grass and plants. Then the deer is eaten by a tiger. The tiger hunts a deer and eats it. And then a bear can eat a tiger and it can eat the grass. Means the bear can eat the herbivore or the deer and it can also eat the grass or plants. This is the third part, that is the microorganisms or the decomposers. So, the third, in the biotic component, we learned that there are three parts. First was the plant, those are the autotrophs. Second was the plants are the autotrophs or the producers. Second was the heterotrophs, animals or the consumers. Third is the microorganism or the decomposers. The decomposers or the microorganisms, they do not produce or they do not consume, they decompose. They are the decomposers. In addition to the producers and the consumers, there are some organisms which derive their food from dead and decaying plants and animals. They are called decomposers. Decomposers break down the dead and decaying plants and animals into minerals. These minerals get mixed up with the soil and are then again used by plants. This process is called recycling of minerals. Let me explain you. The microorganisms, they are very small and they can be only seen with the help of a microscope, but if they are large in number or they start decomposing, then they can be seen with a naked eye. So they also have to eat food. They have to derive their food. But how they derive their food? For example, a lion is eating a deer. After eating the deer, he went. Now these microorganisms, they come and eat the dead and decaying animal. Means the part of animal which is left. Something or the other is left. So they eat that. And the plants that are dead now, that are just gone, means that are dried up, these decomposers eat those plants. That is why they are called the decomposers. These break down the dead and decaying plants into minerals. These minerals get mixed up with the soil and then again are used by plants. Plants grow in soil. That is why these plants use these minerals to grow. This is called recycling of minerals. Fungi and bacteria are the other organisms that help in decomposition, means they are examples of decomposers. These are so small that they cannot be seen with eyes. They are called microorganisms. Word micro means very small, very micro in size. Okay. Animals and birds like jackals, cows, crows, vultures, and kites consume dead bodies of animals. So they are not a part of microorganisms, but they are a type of decomposers. Whenever there are dead bodies of animals, these jackals and vultures and crows, they eat these dead bodies. Okay, they consume these dead bodies. This process helps in keeping the environment clean. They are called scavengers. So we learned about decomposers, the microorganisms, scavengers, herbivores, omnivores, and carnivores. Okay, so now over here I have a do you know. Please ignore this over here. Just see the do you know. If dead organisms are not decomposed, their number will go on increasing. Means if the scavengers and the decomposers are not there, the number of dead organisms will increasing and there will be no space left for living organisms. Means there will be no space for us, there will be no space for plants, there will be no space for living animals. Some bacteria present in air, water, and soil can cause various diseases. We know it very clearly today because there is the virus in the air which cause diseases. So now this is the do you know that we know. Next is activity 1. So I told you that we are going to perform a review task. So this is your review task. A zoo feeder. A zoo feeder means a person who works in the zoo wants to segregate the animals listed below in the 3 bases of types of food. So he wants to categorize them into three categories on basis of the types of food they eat. So there are lots of animals there. You have to tell they are herbivores, they are carnivores, or they are omnivores. It is a really easy activity. So I hope you enjoyed today's class and you loved whatever we learned today. So I hope it was a really amazing session for you. Thank you, and I'll be coming up with the part 3 very soon. And kindly attempt the review task positively and submit it. Thank you.